the Gap fans? We are here for another week. It's your boy KC AJ. How you feeling today, man?
Feeling great, man. Feeling great. Happy to be here. Got a lot to get into, man. A lot to
A
get
lot to get
into.
into. A lot to get into. We got some NFL action today. We got to talk about Jordan Love. That's coming up a little bit later. We got some NBA action too. As you know, the Joker is tripping. I don't know what this dude is on right now. He tripping. He wants smoke. The Jokic Brothers. I don't know. It's a lot going on. Would you say?
Facts.
All
A
right.
lot,
All
a
right.
lot to dive into.
Yes, it is a lot. But we're gonna start with Odell Beckham Jr. OBJ. Listen, we talked about it last week. Odell Beckham Jr. is finally free. Free Odell. AJ, I'm sure you got a lot to talk about because you was real excited to talk about Odell last week. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Which team should Odell join and why?
First off, shout out to Clutch Points here for this
Yes,
image. And
fire.
the question mark. Let me try to take this banner down for a second. The question mark looks so good on a jersey because that means he's free. You feel me? That means he's free, Casey. And nothing is making me more happy than seeing that the man is free and that he don't have to stick with this Cleveland Brown organization no more. I saw some people trying to throw some shade. I saw some people had a lot to say about the situation. You know, it is what it is. It's over and done with now. He ain't got to deal with that no more. The Browns don't have to deal with him. The Browns look damn good this week too, by the way. You know, Baker. I think if I'm not mistaken, he had like the highest QBR of the week. So
Had
okay,
a good week.
you know, they played great without Odell last season. Okay. So it's just, a mutual breakup that they both needed. So I'm happy that Odell is moving on. What bothers me about the Odell situation is, Casey, if you remember last week, I came over here and I said, Odell, I want him to play for a team where he's the number one option. I want him to play for a team where he is the man and he can go out there and prove that he's still that dude. And lo and behold, I'm on Twitter and I see, if Odell ends up clearing waivers, which he did, yeah, his number one option right now will be the Green Bay Packers. And I'm like, Odell said this. Odell's camp coming out saying this. That'll be his number one option. I got to thinking, okay, I'm sure he want to play with a vet quarterback. I'm sure he want to play with one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He hasn't had an opportunity to do that yet. That's gonna really show his talent. But he playing alongside Devontae Adams. You know, you're not gonna be number one. He's okay with that. I guess. I don't know. I guess I got more faith in my boy than he does himself. I don't know. I saw a couple. I saw the Chiefs brought up in conversation. He wouldn't be the number one option there either. You got Tariq Hill there. Okay, all right, cool. I saw the Saints brought up in conversation. I like that, but I only like that if Jabu is there. You know what I mean? Because Jabu, we all know he ain't afraid to air the ball out. You know that's what he does. So I don't mind that as much. We saw the Pats getting the mix today, like literally today. Actually ran across that before we got on here. Probably like literally moments before we got on here. I saw that the Pats were like mad interested in Odell, and I do like that a lot. You pair him with Bill Belichick.
Mm.
I think Bill Belichick will be able to keep him in line. I think Bill Belichick will make sure he's touching the football. We know Bill Belichick isn't the offensive guru or nothing like that, but we know who Bill Belichick is. You know what I mean? And then you pair him alongside with Mac Jones, who the kid got some promise, yo. Mac Jones got some promise. And I will admit, and this is what I'll say about Mac Jones. Out of all the rookies right now, Mac Jones looked the most impressive to me, to my eye. And maybe it's because he's in the strongest foundation. Maybe it's because he has a defense that's continuously, making stops, getting turnovers, knowing what needs to be done. Maybe it's just he's just a great young player. Maybe it's Bill Belichick. I don't know. But the thought of Odell joining Mac Jones in the Pats, ooh, that sounded a little dirty to me. Personally, if we just looking at those options and we taking the Ravens out, like I said last week, and we're asking, which team Odell should join, out of the teams I just mentioned, uh, I personally would like to see him with the Pats because, again, he'd be the number one option. He be playing with a young Mac Jones. He be playing with a Bill Belichick. They are competitive right now in the AFC. But I must admit, as much as I hate to say it, and I hate to say it, KC, you
Go
may
ahead and
have
say it,
been
AJ. You
right.
know what it is.
You may have been right, KC, because the thought of Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, and Odell Beckham Jr. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting. That's disgusting. That's like Golden State to me with KD. Like that's what that feels like to me. Like that's what that feels like. Because I think people underestimate how great this man still is. So that's just my thoughts on it. But overall, man, I'm excited to see where he goes in general. I think I tweeted earlier today at AJ2K. Think I tweeted earlier today. Wherever he goes, he's gonna shake the league up because he obviously trying to play for a contender. And wherever he goes, wherever he decides to sign, he gonna shake it up. He gonna shake up somebody's offense and really blow some things up for a lot of opposing defenses. So that's just my take on it. But KC, how you feel about it, man? I know you want him to go to the pack, man. Go ahead, get it over with, man. Go ahead.
Listen. AJ, BTG, stay with me here. When it happened, I couldn't believe my eyes. Like because honestly, when he got released, I'm like, nobody's gonna pick up that contract. I thought he would clear waivers, but you know how word get around town.
They
Somebody
they trying to sign that man for the vet man. You heard
they
about
try,
that?
but he already getting paid. But he getting paid anyway because he cleared waivers, and the Browns I think are paying some of his salary,
Oh,
so
okay.
he
That's
getting paid anyway.
right,
This
right.
is the way I look at it. If you're Odell, whatever team you choose to go to, sign a 1 year deal, ball out in the playoffs, get you a ring, and then sign a multi-year deal next year. Like that, if that's the best thing for Odell right now. I'm I know the Packers offered, I think it was like the vet minimum, like you said. That's I mean, you're Odell Beckham Jr. You've made a lot of money. Like, is money that important to you, let's say, for the next 6 months? Because I think personally, if Odell goes out there, he balls out, which I think if he is playing for Green Bay, I think that he will. I think that being alongside Devontae Adams, like you said, makes no sense at all. Like that like it makes no that would be the best 1-2 in a long time. Like probably I would say
I'm this close to saying in history because you got to also account for the fact that Aaron Rodgers is throwing them the ball.
Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. And
Like
honestly,
A-Rod's
it
the
would be
quarterback.
kind of on par with that Colts offense with Peyton Manning, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harris. It would be like that.
It will be
Like if
like
we're
that.
keeping it a buck. But
Mhm.
Devontae Adams, who is arguably one of the best route runners and receivers in the league, Odell, he's a different type of receiver. And I think he would bring some flash to the Packers that they haven't had in a really long time. I think him being alongside of Devontae Adams, and I watched the Packer game last week with Jordan Love, which we'll get into in a little bit. But I would see how much attention Devontae Adams got with Jordan Love at quarterback. They were still double teaming this man, having
Of
safety
course.
help because you have to because it's Devontae Adams. So with that being said, if that other receiver on the other end is Odell, I think that makes for just a disgusting combination, like you said, Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, and then you got Aaron Jones, and I'll continue to say it, Dill Pickle, AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon is a beast. Derrick Henry Jr., the quad father, that's what they call him. He is a beast. I will continue to say that. He looks like the running back of the future. And what I love about what the Packers are doing and what they essentially have with AJ Dillon, and this is why I think the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl, outside of that top 5 defense that they have, which we don't even got to get into. But uh AJ Dillon allows Aaron Jones to essentially just be smooth in the regular season. Like he doesn't have to ball out. I don't know if you've noticed lately, but AJ Dillon has been getting a lot more carries. He's been getting the ball about anywhere between 10 to 12 times a game, whether that's in the passing game, the running game, and it's allowing Aaron Jones to stay fresh for the postseason when they'll need him most. And I think that's a scary thought. So if you throw that in there with Odell and Devontae, I mean, it's lights out for the league at that point. You mentioned the Patriots. That makes no sense. It just doesn't. It makes no sense. Like one, Mac Jones is still a rookie, so I don't see how you can want to go to a contender and think that you're going to contend with that team. Like let's just keep it.
The Pat,
Let's keep it honest. I get Bill Belichick is there. I get it, but a lot of times receivers like Odell and there's been receivers, there's been players, superstar type players. They hate playing under Bill Belichick. Now they got their ring, but they got their ring, and it's like cool. But in terms of just like playing under Bill Belichick in like that Patriot way, I don't think that's Odell's
it's a
style.
lot. It's a lot of players that rock with that man though. Like
Who?
Ocho, when he was there, even though he didn't stay, he rocked with him. Randy Moss, he really rocked with Bill Belichick. Cam, even
Ocho
though
ain't
he
rock
wasn't
with
there
Bill
long.
Belichick.
Who?
Ocho didn't rock with Bill Belichick.
Ocho did like Bill, but he liked Bill Belichick. He couldn't figure out the playbook, but he liked Bill Belichick. Randy Moss had a great relationship with Bill Belichick.
It's
Gronk
not.
had a
It's
good
not so much
relationship.
Bill Belichick. I'm not saying it like they don't like Bill Belichick.
You
It's the
saying the Patriot
Patriot
way?
way.
The
Yeah,
Patriot
it's
way.
the
All right, all
Patriot
right.
way where Belichick's word is law, and that's it. And you got to be this. I think Odell in that situation will become frustrated because it might be a week, and we've all seen this where the game plan is to run the football, and they might send 3 running backs at you, but the game plan is to run the football. I don't care that Odell's out there. We're gonna run the football this game 30 times a rush, and that's just what they're gonna do. So I just think that Odell needs to be in a system that you know is gonna feed him. He doesn't have to worry about being the number one. He can just come in, ball, and you got Aaron Rodgers throwing to you. So that's the only thing that makes sense. And then lastly, I want to touch on the Saints. Like you said, yeah, I don't agree. I definitely don't. Without Jabu, it makes no sense why you go there. Michael Thomas isn't coming back. That's just a waste of the next 4 months. So I think that definitely the Packers are the best option for Odell right now.
Better than the Chiefs too.
That's tough. I think Mahomes. I don't know what's been up with Mahomes lately.
Mm,
So I think he's got some stuff he's still figuring. Like we forget that Mahomes has only been in the league 3 years. Like this, or well,
right.
I guess 4, but he's only played 3 years. So he's still within his first 5 years. He's still got a lot to learn. I know he's been great to start his career off, but I've said it before. Like the defensive coordinators, they get paid too. They get paid to stop Mahomes. You know what I mean? So uh we've seen him look shaky this year. It doesn't matter that Tyreek Hill is probably the fastest player in the league, and he has him. It doesn't matter that you have Travis Kelsey, and he's probably the best tight end in the league. He's looked streaky. I think Odell in that system would get frustrated because it's clearly Tyreek Hill's team. And if it's not Tyreek Hill's team, it's Travis Kelsey's. Just in terms of like who's gonna get the targets. One
I
and two.
think I think you're too quick to say Odell will get frustrated. That's all I keep hearing. It wouldn't work there because Odell will get frustrated.
Well, why wouldn't he?
Like with the
What's the
Pats,
goal for Odell?
with
What
the
is the goal for Odell right
I'll
now?
I'll I'll I will touch on the Pats real quick because I want to touch on them first, and then I'll go to the Chiefs. The New England Patriots, yeah, they might have a game plan to run the football, but if they win, Odell's not gonna care as much. Number one. Number two, at some point they're gonna have to throw the football, and Odell's gonna be the best receiving option there. So when they do throw, like if Odell if Odell catches four passes for 75 yards and a touchdown, Odell's happy, especially if they win.
Let me ask you this question before you continue.
Mm.
Is Mac Jones today better than Baker Mayfield right now?
No,
Okay, that's what I
no,
just wanted to know.
but it's tough for me because the only reason why I say no is because I know Baker Mayfield has a lot of well, not a lot. He has more experience in the league. That's what I'll say. He has more experience, but I don't know, bro. Like Baker's not accurate from the pocket a lot of times. At least when he's played with Odell, he's not accurate from the pocket a lot of times. And I still believe there was some behind closed doors kind of beef or kind of something going on between him and Baker that made the connection even worse. People forget though when Odell first got there, he was targeted a lot. Like he was getting the
He
ball.
had a 1,000 yard
Um,
season.
yeah, you say he had a what?
He had a 1,000 yard season his first year.
You're right. And then I'm not sure what happened. I know he got hurt one year, and I don't know. But Mac is something different about Mac, bro. And I just feel like Mac Jones is the kind of quarterback, a rookie quarterback that would be focused on getting Odell the ball. Plus, I feel like Bill Belichick is a mastermind. You know, he wouldn't be so actively trying to pursue Odell if he didn't have a plan for Odell in the offense. Like everybody knows Odell wants the football at this point in his career. Everybody knows Odell wants to be an impact player, is an impact player, and is going to be a little upset if he's not getting the ball and they losing football games. Bill Belichick being who he is, he's not going to bring that in unless he has a plan for I'm gonna work Odell in the offense right here, and this is why I know Odell can excel and exceed. And I guarantee he's pitching at the Odell. The only thing that could be holding him back is, like you said, they got a rookie quarterback. I get that, and if we just go on with that point of view, I understand that because he's 29. I think he was 28, just turned 29 the other day, right? You know, of course, you rather go play with Aaron Rodgers. Like you got an opportunity to go play with Aaron Rodgers. It's hard to pass up on that, right? Almost like playing with Brady. You got an opportunity to play with Brady. It's hard to pass up on that. But all I'm saying is, if you sign a 1-year deal, I'm with it. I wouldn't sign no 2-3-year deal with the Packers right now. I'm signing a 1-year deal. I'm talking to Aaron Rodgers and asking him if he's going to continue to play. And I want to say this before we move on to the next topic. And I feel like it's a great segue to move on to the next topic. If he does go to Green Bay and they do win the ball, or they are super competitive, even if they back in the NFC Championship again, Jordan Love getting up out of there, bro. I'm telling you now, they're going to get Jordan Love up out of there because what's going to happen is the offseason going to come. Oh, they're going to be like, man, I was having a good time playing alongside Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones and the little baby Derrick Henry. Well, I was balling with these boys, you know. But y'all telling me Aaron Rodgers don't want to be here no more? I don't know if I'm going to resign. Then Devontae Adams going to be like, I don't know if I want to stay either. So then you left with Allen Lazard and you left with, you know, still got your running back tandem, but you ain't got Aaron Rodgers. You don't have Devontae. You don't have Odell. And the Packers aren't competing no more. So look, all I'm saying is be careful what you ask for because you want this boy to come to Green Bay. But I'm telling you, if he come to Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers probably going to be there for the next 2-3. Like, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, there's no way in hell I'm leaving Green Bay if I got Odell and Devontae Adams to throw the football to. These are the best years of my career. If you ask me, I got Odell on the left side and Devontae Adams on the right or vice versa, and I'm going to leave, I'm staying put. And quickly, I did want to touch on the Chiefs before I forget. Even though Patrick Mahomes is struggling, Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, is still Patrick Mahomes, and they're still in position to make the postseason. And if the Chiefs make the postseason, the Chiefs are still as dangerous as anybody. People forget, bro. It's still a half a season of football left to be played. Still a lot of ball left, so it's a lot of time for him to get his mojo back, for him to get his flow back. And I believe you add a player like Odell to your offense, I think he's gonna spread the ball around. I think he'll spread the ball around. I mean, when you think about it, it's almost the same options as the Green Bay Packers have because you have Devontae. Allen Lazard isn't a bad option to throw the football to. Robert Tonyan, he's not there this year, but he'll be back next year. And then you still got those running backs. You're going to hand the ball off to them at some point. So between those two teams, you got your touches they're not going to be number one target touches no matter what. So it's just a matter of which quarterback and which offense you had to play in. And if you ask me, I just don't know, bro. I just don't know. If I'm him, I'm still going to the Ravens. That's just me.
The Ravens?
Yeah, man. That's just me. But
Ravens aren't in the conversation. They never.
Man, and I'm disappointed at that. But I get it. I get it. Everybody sleep on Lamar's passing ability, and I understand. It is what it is. We let it ride. But KC, we got something else we got to get to because I can't let the day go by. I can't let today's episode go by without talking about your boy Jordan Love. I wouldn't have it any other way. I just want to ask you as I get this image ready for you. Put your boy up on the screen. I got to put your boy up on the screen for you. There you go. Number 10, 1-0. Jordan Love, KC. How would you grade Jordan's Love performance? His debut against the Kansas City Chiefs. How would you grade it, KC? Because I know how I would grade it. You know what I mean? I think most of the British Gap fans know how I would grade it. It took a lot for me to not text you during this game, but I know how I felt. So I was like, nah, I ain't gonna be on that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be on that. But KC, the time is now. Tell us how you feel about Jordan Love today and how you feel about that performance.
Listen, I'm standing. I'm in the same spot as I was before I saw
Same
Jordan
exact,
Love play on Sunday.
same exact spot.
I'm in the same exact spot.
Woo!
What I saw from Jordan Love on Sunday, he didn't look great. A lot of the issues he had an issue or he had trouble reading the blitzes. His decision making wasn't as sharp, but you can fix that. Those are things that can be developed. He now has NFL tape that he can put on and learn from. And don't give me that look because you know what I'm gonna say. Because you king of the Justin Fields defending club.
I can
I,
say the
I,
same for you though. That's why
I,
that's why I start smiling because I'm like,
no, but
come
listen,
on now.
this is what I'm gonna tell you. I
Okay.
have no issue with Jordan Love sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. That's never been an issue that I've had. When they originally drafted Jordan Love, I said after this season, you look to move on from Aaron Rodgers. Granted, I said that before Aaron Rodgers had an MVP season. I said that before we saw what this offense has the capability to do, with Aaron Rodgers at the end. But I still firmly believe at some point you have to move on from Aaron Rodgers in the next year or two. You have to, or even if it's the next 2 or 3, you have to move on. Jordan Love is still young. This was his first career start. And clearly, from what we saw from last Sunday, he needs some development. I don't know if I'm at LaFleur, I wouldn't be confident, throwing him out there next year just from what I saw this year. So if you do have an opportunity to keep Aaron Rodgers 2 more years and develop Jordan Love for a couple more years, I have no problem with that.
Oh no, 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 no! You're not about to backtrack like this.
I'm not backtracking.
Bro,
You asked me where am I
no.
at with it. You
You
asked me where
said
am I at, and I'm telling you where I'm at.
so but you are backtracking though. You have to admit that you are backtracking because
I'm
before
saying that
you
I
said
wouldn't.
after
Okay,
this
sure. If you want to say I'm
year,
backtracking,
yes,
I'm
yes,
backtracking. I'll say I'm
because you
backtracking.
said after this year you want Rogers up out of there, get what you can. You want Love to take the reins. Batman is here. That's what I heard. I'm just making sure the BTG fans, that's what they heard too. That's all I'm saying.
That's what, but that was before we saw Jordan Love play, and now I'm telling you, that's not saying I don't believe that Jordan Love could be the future of BTG. I mean, of BTG. See, now
Oh, the
I'm
Packers.
that doesn't mean I don't think Jordan Love can be the future of the Packers, of the Green
Right.
Bay Packers. But what I'm saying is, based on where he is right now, I wouldn't be mad if they held on to him for a couple of years and still had Aaron Rodgers. That's all I'm saying. Because clearly he's not where he's at developmental wise. And it's the same thing with Justin Fields that I've been saying. Let him redshirt, let him learn, let him sit. There's nothing wrong with learning. Now, granted, Jordan Love gets to learn behind Rodgers, but if you look at the pressure he had on on him for that game, like it was tough. First career start, and the circumstance, and the reason why I say that the circumstances were completely different, right? Like it's not like it was the first game of the season, the whole off season. He was the number one. You knew Rodgers wasn't coming back. He knew he was the week one starter. That's the difference. This situation was a little different, right? Like Rodgers is back. We found out Rodgers had COVID the middle of the week. He probably got 3-4 days to prepare. And now you're going out there and people are expecting you to be Aaron Rodgers on the road against Patrick Mahomes. That's a lot of pressure on the kid. And I'm not saying that's an excuse, because you would think a year and a half in the league, you would be a little better at reading defenses, but it was a lot. And I don't want to let that performance necessarily cloud my judgment of Jordan Love because I do think he still has a lot of raw talent. But if I had to grade the performance, I'll keep it a buck. It was probably a D. I'm not gonna say it was an F because he did do some things right. Clearly, he wasn't afraid to move around in the pocket when he had to, but he just has a lot to learn. He's not ready right now, but he'll get a lot of opportunity. But if I got to give him a grade, I'll give him a D. One last thing I'll say before I let you go: the broadcast was really tough on Jordan Love. Like it was one and I don't even want to like point out no names. Like if you were listening, you heard, but it was one play. Jordan Love got all out blitzed, and he was like, "You gotta see that the Jordan Love don't know. Jordan Love don't know what he's looking at. Jordan, this is Devon. You gotta get the ball. You don't think he's trying to get the ball in Devontae Adams' hands? You think he want to get hit? You think he wants 7 people in his face? No, but it's gonna take time. He probably hasn't thrown more than 100 balls to Devontae Adams because Devontae Adams wasn't there for OTAs and all of that this summer. So it's gonna take time. And if I'm the Packers and I see that, I say, hey, let's give Rodgers, let's go all in these next 2 years, like you've been saying, and then let's move on from him. And let's see if Jordan Love is ready at that point.
KC, my boy has seen. He has seen what he needs to see already, and Bridget got fans. Don't let him fool you now. Don't let him fool you now, because what he really getting at is, I was watching that game and I expected a little more from the boy. They was playing probably the worst passing defense in all the football. They was playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, who struggle defensively all year long. Been getting roasted all season. I expected just a little more. You didn't expect him to go out there and throw for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Maybe not even 300, but you wanted to see at least 250. You wanted to see at least 252 touchdowns. At least, even if it was on the goal line, you want to throw a little fade to Devontae so you can come on BTG and be like, I told y'all, Batman is here. But KC, I will say this. You stole my moment, bro. You stole my moment, bro, because I was ready to come on here and be like, KC, because of you, I'm giving him a D. I can't even say that now because you gave him a D. So what I'm going to say is, KC, because of you, I'm giving him a D minus. That's what I'm going to say. I'm giving him a D minus. Number one, KC, let me get these numbers up because I want to make sure I get this accurately.
Yeah, get it accurate. Get Mahomes' numbers up too while you at it.
Oh, we're not worried about Mahomes. We know Mahomes is a champion. We know he's an MVP. We know, he's Patrick Mahomes. We're not worried about Mahomes. We're talking about Jordan. We talking about, as y'all can see down there in the caption, how would you grade Jordan Love's performance, not Patrick Mahomes? So we're looking at Jordan Love specifically. We see 19 to 34. We see 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. At face value, it's like, that's not awful. It's not damn sure not great. It's not really even good, but it's average. You can maybe get by if the run game is going crazy that game. Then you look and see the points, and they only scored 7 points all game. If I'm not mistaken, those 7 points came in like fourth quarter. So that means against a Chiefs team that scored 13 points, 13 points at the crib, 13 points going against the Green Bay Packers, who was only able to score 7. If you told me the Chiefs scored 13 points to start this game, first off, I'd have laughed at you. But second off, I'd have been like, dang, Jordan Love got it. He got to win his debut. I got to deal with KC. That would have been my first thought, because I thought the Packers were going to at least put up 21 points against this defense. It's not like they're going against one of the best defenses in the league, right? 7 points, and your 7 points coming to fourth, and that boy, like Justin Fields, was running for his life, boy. He was every 2 seconds, he was dipping that head down, scribbling out of the pocket, Do I take? Forget all that. I'm scribbling out of the pocket, and I'm just watching the game, and I'm just chuckling to myself, because all I can think to myself as the broadcast is saying what they're saying, and like you said, I ain't gonna mention no names either, as I go on Twitter and I see everybody like, man, sure, Jordan Love struggling a little bit out here. I kept thinking to myself, one, I wonder how KC is feeling, but 2, this is exactly what I was saying about Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, and the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers fans, organization, the broadcast, everybody is used to seeing greatness, bro. That's what people are used to seeing when they look at the Green Bay Packers at the quarterback position. Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, they have been the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers as long as I've known football. Those have been the 2 quarterbacks, and they have always, for the most part, exhibited greatness. That's what you expect when you're playing alongside Aaron Jones, a Devontae Adams, even an Allen Lazard. That's what you expect because that is what Aaron Rodgers has put forth time and time again. And then I saw somebody tweet on Twitter right after the game. They said, and this is a Packer fan. I ain't gonna say who it was, but this is somebody we both know. It was a Packer fan. And it was like, you know, Jordan Love, he's got promise, he's got potential, and I think he could be the future. But man, oh man, we cannot sleep on what Aaron Rodgers means to this team. You can't, you cannot sleep on it. Even though the roster is talented, don't get me wrong, you got weapons. You got opportunity in the backfield. You got opportunity at receiver. You got a defense that's playing well this year, right? You cannot sleep on what Aaron Rodgers means to that team. We saw him take down the Cardinals. Granted, the defense played lights out, like how they did against the Chiefs. But we saw Aaron Rodgers make the necessary plays to win that game without Devontae, without Allen Lazard, without half of his offensive weapons, right? All I'm saying is you cannot sleep on what Aaron Rodgers means to this team. And I've been preaching this to you forever. In order for the Packers to continue to be competitive, they're going to need a guy like Aaron Rodgers to continue to carry them on the offensive side of the football. That's what they're going to need. Jordan Love, not this year, not the next, or maybe even not even the next year, is going to be ready to take over the reins and come in and compete. That's not a playoff team without Aaron Rodgers, bro. Maybe you could throw Stafford in there. You could throw Brady. Like, you could throw top 10 guys in their playoff team, right? But you can't throw a rookie in there, or you can't throw a 2-year, 3-year vet in there and expect for the Packers to continue to be the Packers that we have seen them be, even playoff team. It's not gonna
Why can't you though? That's the thing.
Because it takes a certain skill set to bring the Packers to where they are, bro. As we just saw. Now, granted, yes. All jokes aside, it was his first game. So I'm not going, part of this is just me just joking back and forth with KC, Bridge the Guy friends, because we know how much he loves Jordan Love, right? Right. So a part of this is just jokes, right? But at the end of the day, his talent is so unique, and his talent is at a level right now where he's dang near the best in the league. He's arguably the best in the league right now. Aaron Rodgers is MVP. He was MVP last year, could very well win it again this year. You can't replace an MVP with a quarterback that's not top 10 and expect to be great. He means too much to the team in more than one way. And also, last thing I'll say, and I'll let you quickly go, it's a different vibe when Aaron Rodgers is in the game. If it's 13-0 with 2 minutes left, I'm still like, man, Rodgers, he might pull something out of the hat. And you see that amongst his teammates. You see them motivated. You see them happy to come out on the field. You see that swagger, that mojo. Man, all game long, Vontae, like, God dang, man. You could feel it, like, they like, man, we need Rodgers, man. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna completely go bad with the body language and show Jordan Love I'm a bit frustrated, but man, bro, I wish this boy Rodgers wouldn't have caught COVID and lied about it. You know what I mean? Or caught COVID and lied about the vaccine. Like, I wish I didn't have to go through this right now, because this boy Love out here, it's just it's not the same. Jordan Love has potential. I like the fact that he got some wheels on him. I like the fact that he does have raw talent, but I would like to see him personally. I think he would have a better chance of succeeding playing with a different organization, because I think with the Packers, it's too much pressure. It's too much pressure, bro. He's going to succeed Aaron Rodgers, bro. One of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen throw the football. That's going to be tough.
And he'll be fine.
Tough. And he's going to be playing for an historic franchise who we've seen compete year in and year out. It's going to be tough. And Packer fans ain't going to have the same patience as you, bro. Like, everybody not going to have the same patience, bro. When you used to seeing greatness for so long, you're not trying to see subpar play out of your quarterback for too long, bro. They're going to be screaming for his head.
I think, but I think we're overanalyzing his debut. Like, I really
like we did Justin Fields.
Like, what do you mean? Like, we did Justin Fields? Like, we've been doing Justin Fields the last 5 weeks, and ain't nothing changed. We talking about one start for Jordan.
Because last game
game they had a chance because Pittsburgh just fell asleep at the wheel.
So that's on Pittsburgh. That's got nothing to do with Justin Fields. Number one. Number two, we
Oh,
all
okay.
know
So
the refs.
okay.
We ain't gonna go on the refs and how that game ended. We talk about
Okay,
that
okay, yeah,
another
let's blame
time.
the refs. That just sounds
But
like an excuse.
but all I'm saying is these last 2 weeks, you can see he's starting to get a feel for the game. And you can see he's starting to read defenses better. He's starting to get a better grasp for the speed of the NFL. He's playing better football. And that's all I was saying. After a while, you learn. After a while, no matter how garbage it is around you, and the Bears are garbage around him. He's still learning the game of football on a professional level, bro. That's one thing that you can see it week after week. You can see the steady progression, bro. That can't be denied. But I'll let you
I
go
mean,
on with the boy Justin Fields
I
or
guess so.
Jordan
What
Love.
I've seen is much of the same. But in terms of Jordan Love, like we're over analyzing this. Like let's be honest. Let's really take a look at what happened here. First of all, you make it seem like Jordan Love got blown out or he was never in this game. I could see if the score was 24-0 and then he scored a little garbage time touchdown. Mason Crosby missed 2 field goals in this game. That literally was the difference in the score. On top of that, one of the field goals that they gave up to the Chiefs happened because the dude from the Packers just fell and couldn't get his feet down all by the ball, and then they went ahead and kicked the field goal. So you can arguably say that Jordan Love still played well enough to win. And the reason why I say look up Mahomes stats is because Mahomes didn't look great. It'll be one thing if Mahomes looked great and Jordan Love looked bad. This was just a weird game. And the Packers had an opportunity to win the game late, even on that fourth down stop. If they get a stop there, or third down, if they get a stop there and get the ball back, you're putting the ball in Jordan Love's hands, and he has an opportunity to go win the game. So I can't necessarily. I
But
can't what?
you can't make these excuses or give him these well, if this would have happened, if Mason Crosby would have made a field goal, if you can't say that and then not say the same thing for Justin Fields. We just saw what happened in that
But
Bears
this
game
is
and how that game ended.
But that's fine. I mean Justin Fields was he played okay, but
He
I'm not
played
gonna
better
sit
than
here.
he played a lot better than Jordan. Granted, this is like his fifth start, so I will give you that. But he looked a whole lot better than Jordan Love. And all I'm saying is, yes, Jordan Love, they were in the game late. KC, they scored 7 points. That's not Jordan Love. The Kansas City Chiefs the Green Bay Packers defense kept them in the game the whole game. They kept them in the game the whole game. And the difference is the Packers defense has been known to do that this year. Like they've been doing that this year. They have been playing lights out. They've been creating turnovers. They've been doing their thing this year. The Chiefs ain't been doing that. That was new. We ain't seen that all season. We have not seen the Chiefs defense play like that all season.
And that's
I
fine.
guarantee you, and it's not a fair comparison. It's not a fair comparison before I say it, but I'm gonna say it. They getting smoked if Aaron Rodgers on the field that day. The Packers putting up 34 points on them boys' head.
Well, the game plan will be completely different for the Chiefs. And you saw it. They blitzed Jordan Love the entire game. They blitzed him the entire game. And that's on Jordan Love and that's on Matt LaFleur to not recognize that and figure out ways to beat that. There was no jet sweep. I don't know how many screens I saw. I saw the only screen I saw was when Jordan Love shot put it that ball to Ajae Dillon, I think like the first drive. Other than that, they ran no screens. There was nothing to combat against the blitz. So that's on them for not figuring that out. But all I'm saying is it's his first start. And if you look at Aaron Rodgers didn't get his first start until his 4th year in the league. Like we've been watching Aaron Rodgers do this for like 15 years now. And we just expect Jordan Love on day one, essentially game one, to be what Aaron Rodgers has been doing for the last 15 years. And that doesn't make sense.
But you expected Jordan Love to play better.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's move on to basketball, Casey. Let's move on to basketball because we got a lot to talk about there, KC. And I KC, I'm hoping you could talk me off the cliff with this one, bro. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping you could talk me off the cliff as I put the image up, KC.
Ooh.
Cause Brian.
We gotta
Our
have that talk.
dog Bron.
It's
Now
time to have a talk.
it's time to have a talk, Casey. Should we be concerned about LeBron? Now, word did come out today that the injury that he has, the abdominal injury that he has, is not severe. The Lakers are being cautious with this injury. This is the perfect time for him to nurse an injury. It's earlier in the season. Obviously, we know LeBron is aging. I think you said a lot of these things to me earlier before we went on air, not today, but another day where we were talking about, actually, I think we were talking about the ankle injury, where you were like, yeah, man, Lakers just being cautious. I'm not too concerned. But KC, again, he's out right now. They say he should be back soon, but these injuries, man, they starting to pile up. So, KC, I want to ask you, and I don't know if you're going to talk me off the cliff or not. I hope you will, but we'll see. KC, is it time? Is it time to be concerned about LeBron?
AJ, it's time to have that conversation, brother.
Ooh.
It's time we have a conversation. And I don't, and this is, and it's time to have a conversation. LeBron, this is now what, year 8, 19?
19.
19?
19.
You're 19, and they say it all the time. Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah.
And I think
especially in basketball.
especially in basketball. And for LeBron, it's been different. Like Father Time for him looks a lot different than Father Time than I think does for a lot of players. You look at most players, right? They get older, they lose their athleticism. They might not be able to, take on the same physicality that they did earlier in their career. Maybe they can't jump as high or whatnot. They don't have the same hops. And then obviously injuries. But for LeBron, clearly he's not as athletic as he was back when he was in Miami and even Cleveland. But when LeBron is healthy, he's still arguably the best basketball player in the league.
He's hooping. He's still averaging like 25 a game, if I'm not mistaken.
It's ridiculous. Unfortunately, now we're starting to see injuries. And it sucks because we've never seen this from LeBron, literally ever, like out of any team he's ever been with, whether it was the Cavs the first time, Miami, Cavs second time. We're starting to see him look vulnerable and human. And it's sad to see, because I think we have to start having a conversation of how long does he really have left. And like, if I'm a Laker fan, I'm not necessarily concerned about, is this injury going to keep LeBron out, through the playoffs, or is this going to come back? Like, I think that'll be fine. The problem is we've seen now 3 of the 4 years in LA, it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
And the more it happens, the more like your body just going to start breaking down. And I think we're getting to a point where LeBron can't recover like he used to.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing that some of these injuries that he might have played through earlier in his career, just wrapped it up, worked it out a little bit, and he's good to go. They're keeping him out weeks. And anytime you're out for injury for weeks, it means it needs to heal. And if that's the case, it's time we have this conversation. So I do think there should be a little bit of concern for LeBron as far as the Lakers standpoint. They just got to figure it out. Like that. Like I'm done talking about LeBron and the Lakers. At this point, if you are the Los Angeles Lakers, you have Anthony Davis, you have Russell Westbrook, and you have Carmelo Anthony, who's been
lights out.
Hooping right now, clearly the 6th man of the year. I don't even see anybody. Like, Carmelo has been an excellent addition. Like, you got to figure it out. You got to. So if you're a Laker fan, I wouldn't be concerned. You still have star power on this team. But it's time to start, questioning LeBron's longevity. Like, how long does he really have left?
Lakers actually play today in about 15 minutes.
They play the Hornets, don't they?
I
Or no,
think
they played them
Miami
the other night.
Yeah, they play Miami tonight, and I think they play in Miami, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
We know Miami's one of the hottest teams in basketball right now. If I'm a Laker fan, which I am concerned. I'm concerned all the way around. I'm concerned about this year. I'm concerned about what we're gonna do next year. I'm concerned about the postseason this year, and it's got everything to do with LeBron. It's got everything to do with LeBron. We see what the Lakers are when LeBron is not healthy. When LeBron, if he's even out there and he's not right. I mean, we just got smoked in the playoffs last season by the Suns. Like smoked in the playoffs by the Suns. When AD was on the floor, when Brown was half of himself, yeah, we was competing, but we know AD isn't reliable. I mean, every game he playing through something. It's the stomach flu, or it's his eye hurting, or his shoulder, his knee, his toe, his elbow, his middle finger. I don't know. AD always playing through something, and it's like, dang, bro, season just started. Like, I know what it is. He's trying to avoid that street clothes nickname that Charles Barkley tried to give him, which was mad disrespectful. But it's always something with AD, so he's not reliable. The one thing that we've always been able to hang our hat on, at least mentally, is Bron go be there when you know what I'm saying, when it's time. And right now, man, like these injuries are not. I wish they were like bone injuries, bro. These are like the groin earlier. And we got the core, the abdomen. Like you need all of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's you need that arguably more than the ankle. Like
Yep.
you could take that ankle up and just tough it out sometimes, like he did in the postseason. The core, that's gonna sit you down. The
Yeah.
groin, I dealt with that in high school in track. That's gonna sit you down. That's and mine wasn't nowhere near as serious as his was earlier.
And before you continue, I'm gonna say I don't even know when this happened, bro. Like that's what makes
I
this
was
even
watching
crazier.
I was watching Undisputed literally today. I was at work watching it on lunch break, and they were showing a clip of where he like went back to the back. It was discreet, and that's what gives me even more cause to pause, bro. It was very discreet. He went to the back and he was in the tunnel, like stretching and like holding and like down kind of on the ground, kind of wincing. And then he came back out there and played. But it happened so quick that I don't think the broadcast caught it. I don't think the announcers caught it. I don't even think half his teammates caught it. And he played
Mm.
through it, and he had like 13, 14 in the fourth, and
He was
everything was
cooking.
cool. He was cooking. So I'm thinking he's straight. And then all of a sudden you come out with this injury, and yes, it's minor. They say it's minor. The problem is, like you said, he ain't here 19. The problem is he going on 37. And this is what I feared when he first signed with LA. I said, man, I hope he can hold up. That was one of the first comments I made after I got over he signed with my squad and I'm throwing the powder in the air. And then after all of that settled, I was like, he is getting older. And this is when he was 33. But this was
Mhm.
fresh off of 33, 34. But this is fresh off of 2000.
2018.
Yeah, 2018, where that was, in my opinion, the greatest year I've ever seen out of LeBron. That's just my personal opinion, where I was just like, this guy is, oh my gosh, this is crazy what I'm seeing right now. Like, that's when I was like, this man really probably is the GOAT. I can't even lie. Like, this is nuts to me. But we saw him just give it all. I mean, you saw even before the finals, he was exhausted. Oh my gosh. I wish I had the image. He was exhausted. You could tell. They asked him about Golden State. He like, man, I'm just happy to be here right now. Because he had to drag yet another team to the finals, and at age 33, that's not something you want to have to do.
Yeah.
So coming into the Lakers, like I said, I was a bit concerned there. Then the groin injury, then they win a chip the next year. AD come along, then last year the ankle injury, and now this. It's very concerning. And yes, the Lakers do have a lot of star power. Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis when he's on the floor. Carmelo looking like Knicks Melo low
Like
key.
this is the best he's looked since New York.
You know what I'm saying? Like he looking like Knicks Melo. And I think it's because he getting a little more playing time. He
Yeah.
getting a little more opportunity. He playing with a bunch of vets that really, and I'm not saying they didn't respect him for the Blazers, but he playing with a bunch of vets now in LA where the respect is there, the camaraderie is there. Like they
He looks
feed him
happy.
Melo. Like you said,
He
what?
looks happy. He looks
He looks
happy.
he looks happy. He in LA. That's Melo. Melo is big market dude. He a
Yeah.
big market guy, bro. And he playing in a big market like LA, similar to how he played for New York. And he balling out. You still got Russ. You got players coming back from injury. Kendrick Nunn should be back soon. Bazemore's there. You got talent, but the Lakers not the Lakers without Bron, and we see that. Like, yeah, the chemistry is gonna develop, but the Lakers are not. Russell Westbrook turns the ball over every 2 seconds. He takes ill-advised jump shots at the end of games every freaking game, it drives me up a wall. And it's not like I didn't expect it, but I expected it with LeBron on the floor. Because with LeBron on the floor, Brian could grab him and be like, bro, that's a bad shot. Move the
Yeah.
ball. Or I'm gonna take that shot. Or AD gonna take that shot. But
Yeah.
Brian on the sideline. So Russell Westbrook just roamed me. He just he
Doing
just
whatever
doing
you
what he
want.
want. Now I do what I want. Now I do what I want. Like that's what he owned out there. Like the commercial, bro. Like that's what he owned, bro. When KD left and he came out with that commercial, I just see him dancing like Brian out. Like, this what I'm gonna be on. Like, and he just, man, he's selling games for us, bro. It is killing me inside. So I
Woo.
don't know, man. It's tough, bro. Like he out there, he taking ill-advised shots, man. He sold us a couple games. He done had, I think, a couple games where he's had like 10 turnovers. He get you a triple-double, but he gonna have 10 turnovers. It's gonna be a quadruple-double. It ain't gonna be with blocks. It ain't gonna be with, steals. It's gonna be with them turnovers. It's
Yeah.
tough, bro. We need, in order to win the ring, I don't care who we playing against, the way our team is built, Bron is that glue guy. Even if he out there as a decoy and he just out there playing PG, just moving the ball around and taking shots when he has to, we need LeBron. And that's why
But
I'm
we
concerned, because we need him out there. And last thing I'll say before I pitch it back to you, I think this is it. I think this
as
is it.
in
As in, like, this is the last year. If Bron is able to come back, which I do believe that he will this year, if Bron is able to come back and be LeBron for one last year, it's this year. I think this the last year we'll see LeBron averaging
mm,
25, 26. I think so, bro. I think so. Because the injuries, like I said, are piling up. Next year he'll be 38. And I think this is it. I think if your window is to win a championship, that window, if you don't win it this year, it is closed. Unless you go get another, unless you move Russ and you get like Dame or somebody, because Russ ain't gonna get it done for you. Like he not gonna get it done. So I think if there's a time to win a championship, that's why it's a lot of emphasis on the Lakers figuring it out right. You got to figure it out this year, because if you don't figure it out this year, Melo's also getting older. AD's injury problem is a mug. This is the year, bro. Like Bron, we see the man is not indestructible no more. If you're gonna win another ring, this is the year you win it. And then if you could sneak that sixth one in, okay. But at that point, it's gonna be 20 points a game or 18 points a game, 10 assists, maybe 12 assists, 5 rebounds, Bron. It won't be 25 a game, Bron. I just don't see it. And if it is, he only gonna play like 30 games or 40 games.
see, I disagree. I think that LeBron, he might not ever admit it, but I think there's one thing that's driving him. And I think it's not even rings. Like, I mean, because you can't control that, right? All it depends on the
Kareem.
team you have. It's Kareem. I think that he's so close. And it's not, and like I said, like when LeBron is healthy and on the court, he still is a bucket. Like he doesn't look like any less than LeBron that we're used to seeing. It's just a matter of him actually being on the court. But if he can stay healthy somehow, and I don't know how you do it, but if there's somebody that can figure it out, I'd imagine it'd be him. But like I said, it's something else each time now. And that's what gives me like, I don't know how long, but he'll still play a couple years and look like this. Because Father Time isn't hurting his ability to play basketball. It's just his injuries. And
Yeah.
that's what scares me.
Yeah, I get that. And I was gonna ask you before I went, I forgot to ask. I know you don't know the numbers off the top of your head, but how close is he? Like, is he a season away? Is he 2 seasons away? I know he's mad close.
I think if he were to average, I think like 25 for the next 2 years, he'll pass him.
So this year and next year.
Yeah. But he's out now this year. So it's like that's when it start getting tricky, right? Like
Right.
I can let me look at all-time points. Because I want to get the exact number for you. So he's behind Malone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so he's behind Malone. LeBron's got 35,516 points right now. Malone has 36,928, and then Kareem has 38,387. So he's about 3,000 away.
Okay.
3,000 away, which is 3,000 divided by 82. 36 on 2. I mean, he would have to give you 18 a game for the next 2 years.
That's doable.
That's
That's mad.
doable.
That's mad doable.
So maybe it's 2 years. So maybe he gives you another 2 years. And then there's the whole Bronny situation, who's
Right,
probably
where he
three
wants to
years
play.
removed.
Right,
So
right.
I don't know. It just kind of like I said, it all depends on his health. But I definitely think it's time to be concerned because these next 5 years might be ugly for for Laker fans and Bron fans because he looks like Kobe in what was that 2012 in
Facts.
2012 when he
No,
started
no,
getting
no,
hurt.
no, no. Wait, it wasn't 2020. It wasn't 20. That's way too early. It was 2014 or 2015.
It was
That's
20. I
around the
thought he got
time.
hurt that in 20. No. He was in 2012. You're right. It was like
Yeah, he
2014.
tore. I think 2022 is when they got swept by the Mavs, but Kobe was still
Yeah.
Kobe at that time. No, it was like 20. It's like 2014, 2015. I think is when he messed up the Achilles, and then
Yeah.
2016 was his last year.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
we might be at that point with LeBron, but yeah, I definitely think you should be a little concerned. But Laker fans, y'all got to figure it out. You got the talent.
yeah, you got the talent. You got the talent. It's just a matter of putting it together
Vogel.
and making it work. I mean, and Vogel, last thing I want to say before we quickly move on to our last topic. Vogel, these lineups, my boy, what the hell, bruh?
Yeah.
These lineups been terrible, bruh. And
Yeah.
you pull AD, Russ, and Melo off the. I forget. I think it was what game was it? What game was it? Man, it was a recent game where they lost. I think it was to OKC. They lost. OKC got like 2 wins on the season. They both been against the Lakers, which is just ridiculous. But in those 2 games, or in the last game that they played, in the last like 5 minutes of the game, he pulled AD, he pulled Melo, and he pulled Russ off the floor. Who gonna score the
Recipe for
basketball?
disaster.
Who gonna play make? Okay, see, gets
Recipe for
back in the game
disaster.
and wins the game, steals momentum and wins the game. What are you thinking? That's just dumb. That's just I don't know what you thinking. I don't know what you thinking. And also be disciplined, LA.
Yeah.
Just the other night against the freaking Hornets. Every game going into overtime, you want to know why? Because we get these big leads and then we do dumb stuff in the fourth quarter. We get teed up 3 times. They got teed up 2-3 times. I don't know if you saw. They
No,
got teed up in that game 2-3 times, bruh. At the end of the game and put
it was up
LaMelo
12 or 10.
bro, put LaMelo at the line for like 5 free throws. I've never and this is not me being sarcastic or just me being, just over the I've never in my life seen anything like that. I've never seen a team score 5 points. And if I'm not mistaken, they got the ball back.
Yep.
So they had the opportunity to score 7 points in the same possession because we had like 3 back-to-back techs. One on Russ, another one on Vogel. I think another one on Vogel. I forgot who the third one was on. Y'all are vets. Y'all seasoned vets. You can't spot a team 5 points when we struggling to get wins.
Not a team like the Hornets.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to be better. They got to be better. And I think they will. Part of this and part of the caution, and LeBron is smart. He does this every year where, he wants to be the center of attention when it comes to the season. And I think this could be that moment where the team has to figure it out without Bron. Bron could come in and figure it out and play the part. But I think these other guys getting confidence is important too. So we'll see. But along with Bron, and I know it's been a lot going on in the NBA already this year. I don't know if it's the rule change or what, but the NBA is looking interesting. I don't know what it is. We're seeing fights dang there with the Jokic brothers, like I mentioned. And also we're seeing a lot of good basketball. But Joker not going, landscape of the NBA.
Which one? I'm flipping back and forth. We want to go Joker. We want to go landscape.
Let's do landscape of the NBA,
go
and then
landscape,
I'll
go
touch
to
on. We
Joker.
could touch on the Joker at the end or whatnot. But
Okay.
landscape of the NBA, because I'm sure you've noticed a lot, being that you have been riding with a couple teams. So I'll start it off.
Okay.
My look on the NBA is, and I hate to bring this team up because I feel like I consistently bash this team, but I kind of feel bad for Kevin Durant. I kind of feel bad for Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. And it's not because KD, it's just I think when KD chose to come to Brooklyn, he had a different outlook on what it
Yeah,
would be.
we
And
all
we just
did.
yeah, and we just haven't seen Brooklyn look the way I think a lot of people have looked, and part of that's on James Harden. I don't know what's happened to James Harden.
We
Um,
know what happens. That
well,
we
we
know.
know what happened to
We
James. We
know.
know what happened to James Harden, but this just isn't the Brooklyn Nets team that I think a lot of people thought we were going to get. And if we're being honest, I don't think this team is a championship team right now.
No,
And I like not right now. Like I can't see this team coming out of the East, which brings me to another team, the Milwaukee Bucks. You look shaky. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the
maybe the
championship hangover. You
maybe
know
the
that type
injuries.
of thing.
I don't think Middleton played the other night. I think Middleton is hurt
Middleton,
right
but
now.
even with Middleton, they haven't been great this year. They've
Yeah,
been okay. They had the big win opening night um against the Nets, and then it's been mid basketball ever since. So
they're the hunted now.
they're the hunted. So, and when you got some young bulls, no pun intended, like the Bulls, like the Hornets, like some of these other teams that are near the top, you got a lot that you got to keep your head on swivel for. So I'm just looking around the NBA, and it looks completely different, in my mind than what I thought it would. Looking at the top of the standings, you got the Heat, which I'm not necessarily surprised about the Heat. Because they did go out and get Kyle Lowry. They still had Jimmy Bam, Hero, Duncan Robinson. Like they're stacked, and we knew that. So I'm not too surprised. I knew they would have a bounce back year. But then you look at some of these other teams, like Chicago. I know you've been high on Chicago, Washington, Cleveland is in the top five. New York's not too far behind them. Milwaukee's sitting at 5-6 right now, ninth in the East. So I don't know. It's just been a real shakeup this year. It's been weird. Looking at the Western side, I'm not too surprised. It's a lot of the same stuff that we're used to seeing. Obviously, the Lakers and Clippers are out, but the top six looks pretty consistent. So I don't know. It's been a real shakeup this year, but I will say the Nets and the Bucks. I'm disappointed. I'm
Yeah,
disappointed. I expected more out of y'all.
I'm more so disappointed in Harden. But then again, it's not like I didn't see it coming. James Harden needs to go back to how he played when he first left OKC and he went to go play for Houston. Stop. And I think, and we saw a bit of it last game. When you just attack the basket and you stop trying to flail your arms. And I understand, yes, some of them are going to be fouls, right? Because now defensive players, they know I can hack you for real, and they're not going to call it because referees aren't calling them fouls for you right now because they so used to you flopping and doing extra stuff. So I can really hack you for real. I can really hack you now and not worry about a ref calling a foul, but you have to adapt your game. You have to adjust. What happened to the mid-range game? What happened to the mid-range step back? What happened to the tween get to the right finger roll? What happened to the dunks? What happened to all that? And you want to blame it on I didn't get run pickup in the offseason. I was rehabbing the ham. Man, we ain't hear that in the offseason. We heard what should we look for in the Brooklyn Nets? A healthy James Harden, scary hours. That's what we heard. We didn't hear no, I ain't running pickup right now, so we'll see. I might be a little rusty. We'll see. Rules didn't change, so I'm gonna have to make some adjustments. No, we ain't hear none of that, so I'm not trying to hear none of that now. At the end of the day, I was told James Harden one of the greatest scorers to ever touch a basketball. People was trying to convince me here, but he was a better scorer than Wade and Kobe and Bron and all these other superstars that's graced the basketball. And I don't want to take away from James Harden, but all I'm saying is I'm not seeing it when the league is playing it's a little tougher now. It's getting officiated like how it's supposed to get officiated. And I've seen a lot of players come out and complain about it. Get used to it. This is what they had to deal with in the 90s, and it was 10 times worse. This is what they had to deal with in the 80s. It was 10 times worse. This is what they had to deal with in the early 2000s, and it was worse. The game has softened up, and these players, they have to understand. And I heard even Dan, I was shocked that Dame had something to say. Y'all, man, and look, I don't play in the NBA, so I can only say so much. But all I'm saying is, as a fan, I like watching the game now more than I did then. Because it's not so many crappy fouls being called. It's hard to get 25 points a game now. It's hard to get a 30-point game now, as it should be. It's the NBA. And again, the league, they saw how the USA team looked overseas in the Olympics and realized they need to make some changes. So
Yep.
it's kind of expected. I do believe Brooklyn will still end up being a good, one of those teams at the end of the day. But right now, yeah, they sitting in sixth place. Them boys struggling. It is what it is. Do I feel bad for KD? No, I don't, because this is the path you chose. You could have stayed in. You could have stayed in OKC. You could have stayed in Golden State. You choose to jump ship and go to this team and try this and do this and that and the third. And you arrogant about it too. And I like KD, but he real arrogant about the decisions that he makes. So if you got to suffer a little bit like Bron, you got to suffer a little bit like Bron, and that is what it is. We know what Bron did at age 33. Moving on. The
Mm.
Bulls, them Bulls is a problem. I keep trying to tell you every time we talk basketball. The Chicago Bulls, now granted, it's early, so we like 10 games in. They look for real. Now, they have dropped some games. DeRozan, I think he averaging close to like 30 right now. Like
DeRozan has been the X factor.
he's been nasty.
He's back in the East.
Man, I'm saying, and people forget. DeMar DeRozan used to keep the Raptors 1, 2, 3 in the East. What continued to plague him was LeBron. He couldn't beat Bron, but he made a couple Eastern Conference Finals appearances. He was in the second round a couple times. He just couldn't beat Bron. And I mean, is that a crime? Especially prime Bron, is that a crime?
Especially in the East.
Especially in the East. Like, we know that man was Thanos in the East, bro. It was no getting out of the East so long as Bron was there and healthy, which he always was in the East. So the Bulls are the Bulls. Lonzo's playing great basketball. Alex Caruso, I wish he was still a Laker, because, man, we could use him on the defensive side of the ball. But you see the hustle, you see the three-point shooting, you see how well he's playing. The Sixers have shocked me without Ben Simmons sitting in the 4th seed. They playing solid basketball. They actually pushed the Bucks to the limit the other day without Embiid being in the lineup, which was very interesting to see. The Bucks are shaky, but I'm gonna leave the Bucks alone for now, because I do think they'll turn it around. They are the defending champs. They do deserve our respect. My respect specifically because they got your respect last season. They are the hunted now, though. They are the hunted. So it's a little different now when you fresh off a chip and Cats is looking at you now like, y'all the champs. Okay, we coming. When we come to Milwaukee, it's a different vibe now. When y'all come to our city, it's a different vibe now. And you go over to the West, Steph Curry. Steph Curry. He's gonna win MVP this year. The Warriors keep playing like this. He's gonna be the MVP. He's putting up insane numbers. He just had a 50 ball the other night against Trae Young, who in the Hawks, who were just in the Eastern Conference Finals not too long ago. They're a great ball club right now. We don't know what to expect from Clay when he gets back. We don't really know what to expect from James Wiseman when he gets back either. But right now, the Warriors sitting at 9-1. They haven't beaten a lot of contenders, I will say that.
They look good.
They look good. They getting their rhythm together. Steph is playing like Steph Curry, which it's just been lights out. And you see it from Draymond, you see it from Jordan Poole. Freaking Gary Payton Jr. Oh my gosh, the man can fly out of the gym playing great defensive basketball, looking like his dad. Them boys are a problem. I'm actually surprised with the Mavs. I didn't even know they was at 3 right now as I look at the standings. So they playing really great basketball. Utah is Utah. I never believe in them, so I ain't gonna touch on them like that. John Morant. That's another player that might, if they continue to ball the way they ball and he continues to play the way he's playing, he might finish top 5 in MVP talk. He might. So overall, that's really how I feel about it. Obviously, we touched on the Lakers. We might touch a bit on Joker in a hot second. The Suns are obviously still there. They started the season off rocky, but they've went on a little win streak and kind of gotten their act together as of late. The Lakers are playing right now against the Heat. I don't know what the score of that game is right now, but
that come on at 9. So
come on at 9. I thought it was playing at 7. Okay, come on at 9. Okay. But yeah, that's my take on the landscape right now. It's a lot of interesting ball going on, man.
It is. I can admit too. I can admit, like you said, the Bulls do look good. I can admit I was wrong there. I didn't expect DeRozan to look this good. But he's came in.
You were saying he don't average no 20 a game. Remember that, bro?
Yeah, and you heard. Hey, and I ain't said nothing about DeMar DeRozan since I found that out. Nothing about DeMar DeRozan.
Facts.
But no, DeMar DeRozan he's been excellent this year. He's came in and I thought Zach LaVine would be, he was already there. Thought Zach LaVine would be more of the star. But DeRozan is like, nah, this is my team. I finally
Yeah.
got another team. I'm in the East. It ain't no Bron. It ain't no. I mean, KD is there, but like we said, the Nets don't look too hot. He's got an opportunity to compete, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for him because he's been down since the beginning, so it's good to see him. I do want to quickly touch on the Joker situation because this is just funny, right? And I don't know if y'all saw it, but so Joker he got mad because Marcus Morris was all in his personal space, and he decided to just put the elbow to the back with
as we
Morris.
see, as we see here in this image
As
being
we see in
displayed.
this image right here, you can see clearly Marcus Morris's back is to Joker, and Joker is extending the elbow. This is foolish for a couple of different reasons. First of all, Joker, this isn't the first time we've seen him do something kind of like edgy,
Yeah.
and
Hey, Joker, a little feisty, bro.
he's
He a
feisty,
little
and
feisty,
that's that.
bro.
That's the European descent, the Serbian descent in him. If you haven't watched Power on Stars, when them Serbians step on the scene, they mean business. Them Serbians do not play. So I think it's a little bit of that going on in the blood. I don't know, but this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, Joker. You are a MVP candidate. You are one of the faces of the NBA. You are definitely one of the best bigs in the league. You don't need to be doing this. And after they asked him about it, he said something like, I felt like he elbowed me, so I had to defend myself. This isn't defending yourself. This is you being a brat in the situation and deciding to go and elbow and cheap shot Marcus Morris when he wasn't looking. And now we got the Jokic Brothers versus the Marcus Twins. It's like Mortal Kombat. Pick your side, whatever you want. And I think this has gotten way out of hand. Joker, you got to be better than this because you don't want. I don't know if I had to choose. I don't know if Joker necessarily wants to smoke. I don't think he wants to smoke with the Morris brothers, but I don't know about his brothers. I don't know their personal life, so I don't know the type of things that they're into. But if Joker is moving like that, he must know something that we don't. So I don't know, but this is ridiculous.
This is what I'll say. I do agree with you to an extent. Like Joker didn't have to do that, but I want to comment more on. And we talking about. I'll be confusing the
It's
names.
Marcus, I think.
Marcus and Markeith. They can get testy. We've seen them just like Joker. They start stuff. They like to ruffle feathers. They like to do little extracurricular stuff to get under players' skin. And whether you want to admit it or not, like he really attacked that man Joker's ribs. Now because you played sports. We played sports. We know how them rib shots. Them rib shots hurt almost like any other hit in basketball and
So you just
football.
gonna go run after this man on the
So
court?
I get that, and I get that. I know we don't have time to debate this topic like that, but I just listen. All I want to say is I completely agree with what Shaq said. Shaq said something very important. If you gonna go for me like that, don't turn around. Because if you watch the replay, this man Morris, he turned around immediately. He did it and turned around within like the same motion. And it's like, no, you got to see. Now, I might wait to the next play and do it in front of you. I might do the exact same thing you did to me when you go up for a rebound or something like that, But like, I can't completely knock Joker. Should he have been a more professional? He's the reigning league MVP. Sure, I get it. Like if we saw Bron do that, we'd be like, Bron, what you doing? Like,
Yeah,
I
it'll
get
be
it.
front page everywhere.
I understand, but like not everybody willing to take the high road like that. And this is what I will say. I bet you Marcus won't do that again to Joker. I bet you he won't. I bet you he won't. And sometimes you got to send that message. Like if Joker didn't do that and it just everybody just kind of glossed over it, then it might have happened to him again. Maybe not in that game, but in another game. But now Cat's looking at Joker like, all right, maybe I shouldn't be on that with Joker because he probably gonna get me back. He probably gonna, whether it's in the back, in the front, he probably gonna come for me. and Jimmy, you trying to hunt the man down, talking about meet me in the back. Come on, Jimmy, you better than this, bro. You saw what your teammate did. You saw what your teammate did. I know it's your teammate, bro. But just get in the middle, break it up, talk your ish, and move on. Cause if I'm that teammate, I'm looking at when we get to, I'm gonna back you up on the court. I'm gonna do it for the cameras. Yeah, don't be that, pushing my teammate like that. Man, as soon as we get to the locker room, I'm like, bro, you know you was wrong though, right? Like, you know what you was doing. Like, you know you can't be rib shotting cats. Like this is basketball. This is not football, bro. Like, this is basketball. If he wanted to foul Joker, he could have wrapped him up. He could have tapped his arm. They'd have called it. You ain't have to full-fledged jab the man in the ribs like that.
Hey,
Nah, man.
Joker.
Now you
Hey,
waiting
I don't.
in the back
I
with
think when they
security
play,
and everybody waiting in the back trying to fight. Come on, man.
I think when they play again, the next Miami Denver game is gonna be special. I think that's gonna be a really good game.
They said the brothers go. They said the brothers already bought their tickets for that
Brothers
game.
already bought their tickets. They right there. I'm telling you, they're gonna
Yeah.
be like the like them Serbians on Power, man. I'm telling you, they not playing. They front row. You already know. What was the dude name on Power?
I forget what his
What
name.
was
I
the
know who you
Serbian
talking
name? You
about.
know who I'm
Crazy
talking about
dude.
with the snake on it, man.
Yeah,
Listen, they
yeah,
get down, and the other and one of Joker brother got the tattoo on it. They get down. So
yeah.
it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I guess it was a real shot, but Joker, you got to be better than that. I don't know. This ain't the first time we've seen it, but you are right. The Morris brothers, they do be into it a lot.
They be forced.
They get into it a lot.
And last thing I'll say, and I quoted this clip on Twitter. I think it was last night. They be attacking cats from behind too now. Like, if somebody get a cheap shot on them, they don't care where you looking. And you don't care where he look. He looking at you. He looking to the side. He looking to the back. Like, I think it was one of the twins attacked Boogie when he was playing for the Rockets, and I forget which twin it was, but one of the twins pushed one of the Rockets players. The Rockets player they called a foul. Cousins went and pushed the Morris twin, and the Morris twin fell. Then he got mad at Cousins and went to go shove Cousins. Like,
Well,
y'all cannot start beef and then run and be upset when somebody retaliate. That just don't make sense.
Listen, last thing I'll say, ain't nobody more about it than Rondo.
Facts. Rondo would have been out there throwing them sticks. Rondo would have been. You see, though, nobody touched Rondo. Russ was the only dude to test Rondo again, and that was from the bench. Rondo was on the bench at the time. Don't nobody mess with Rondo, man. Rondo ain't no Rondo.
Hey, just ask Chris Paul what it is. You know.
He lucky I got that photo.
Ask the NBA president, commissioner, Players Association, whatever he is. Ask him. He know what Rondo about. He didn't care who Chris Paul was on the court. He said, "Come get this 2-piece.
You about to get this 2-piece.
This Popeye special."
Casey, you got anything else to add to the show today, man?
No, I don't. Big game this Sunday. Aaron Rodgers, the return of Rodgers against the return of Russell Wilson. I'm excited about that game. Definitely tune in because I will be. I think Packers win big. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh wow, big statement. And as for me, I'm just ready to see where Odell signed. That's really all I'm looking at right now. Nothing else really matters. The Eagles lost, so that is what it is. So
yeah, you know, it's the same stuff, just different day.
And they're gonna rattle off some wins now because they schedule sweet, but
we'll see. Fields, let's see what you do this week.
Right, Fields, big week coming up. Odell, we'll see where he signed. Obviously we got big basketball coming up this week too. We'll see what the Lakers do like tonight. But yeah, just a lot going on, KC. But we gonna sign on off for the day, my boy. Bridge the Gap fans, it's been fun. It's been a pleasure. KC, Ajae 2K, we signing off. We'll catch y'all next time on the next episode of BTG. Bridge the Gap.